Hi everyone. Today we're not talking about TV shows. We're talking about piercings. And admittedly, I think we're probably just going to focus on head piercings today because we've got so much great time to get back. And Dan was already sharing anecdotes, so I'm like, save it, because I only got so much battery. Do body piercings later, maybe. Anyway, for those of you that haven't really looked at us much in person or otherwise, we are polar opposites when it comes to the piercings and tattoos, in that I don't have any, because my dad and my mom were pretty much no extra holes installed, and in my case, later I discovered I developed keloids, so there's no point in installing any extra holes or tattoos anyway, because they're just going to end up being scar tissue and look like heck. So I live vicariously through Dan, who will hopefully give you a brief summary of his piercings, or whatever piercings he feels like listing. Well, come on, you got a belly.
I had a bunch of piercings. My ears, I had 5 or 6 in my ears.
He's the only man I know who had his belly done. Or did his belly.
My belly button pierced. Got both my nipples pierced.
I don't think you ever did your nose. You had a tongue stud,
I had a tongue stud for a while, but it was just a pain in the ass, so I picked it out and let it grow over.
Yeah.
And never gave me any problems. But with septum piercings, back in the 90s, I drove a cab for a living. And I had my ear piercings. That's about when I was getting all my piercings and tattoos. It was in the 90s. And just for fun, I took one of my big heavy gauge rings out of my ear, and the opening where the bead closed it was just the same, it was a little bit smaller than my septum, so I squeezed it up there so just the slight pressure of the ring was holding it in place, and walked into the cab office, and the dispatcher looked at me and said, "Dan, say it isn't so." And I pulled it right off, and he laughed, and we laughed. And I don't know. Later that night, I went to a bar. It was somebody's birthday, and we went to the bar, and I wore that thing in the bar all night long. It never fell out. So that's my septum anecdote. It was just funny.
Yeah, I mostly wanted to do this because I need to rant, or maybe it's just my age, and ask other people. And yes, I know it's a Western standard of beauty thing, but am I the one who finds septum piercings, like, totally gross? Like, I'm not big on nose piercings in general, and granted, a good chunk of that is because my dad used to be like, every time I see those, all I can think about is swine rooting from that year that I spent working on a farm, and the cows that got their ears tagged, again, working on the same industrial farm. So yeah, I got that a lot as a kid, and between that and, like, your mom never had to get earrings, I never ended up getting anything installed. But yeah, these septum piercings, especially on the ladies, I just find it, it's just so weird. And I talked to one of our student workers, and he's like, well, just so you know, it's equally, like, gross making out with them, because mucus and things get clogged and stuff gets gross. We'll just leave it at that. I know people have had, like, infections in their tongue studs and stuff, which is not pleasant. I don't know. I've never felt compelled to get my tongue pierced because it seems like something that could very easily go wrong and lose, like, any sensation I have in that giant muscle. I don't know. I like my tongue a lot. When I was younger, people would be like, get this, that, and the other pierced. And I'd be like, no, I don't want to lose sensation in this, that, and the other. I like my this, that's, and the other.
Yeah, I never had anything except for, like, right after I got it done, and it swelled. So I kind of had headaches for about a day and a half, maybe, during the initial healing process, but it actually heals faster than a lot of other body piercings, because it's your tongue, and there's so much blood flow in your head and your mouth that it's constantly being cleansed and replenished with blood flow. So they heal fast. And thusly also is some male genital piercings that some people get.
Or do to themselves on a Friday night.
That are about the fastest and quickest healing of all of the piercings, simply because your urine is sterile to your own body, and by urinating you cleanse that piercing site every time you go. So
yeah, that's what they told me about hood piercings too, because they're like, you get a lot of stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not breaking anything in that regard, okay? Everything I have works fine. I'm just gonna leave it alone. One of those people that, like, I tamper with stuff and do body mods, my body will react badly. I just know me.
Well, during the time that I was getting most of my tattoos and piercings, I was also doing them.
Yeah.
And that's why I learned about what works and what doesn't, and why some things heal faster, and, you know.
Yeah, no, Dan's knowledgeable. Not arguing with that. It's just more of an aesthetic thing. That and the mouth piercings. I don't get, like, why people would get those. I saw one today where she's got, like, the 2 corner mouth piercings with rings. And I kind of get it for studs, but I'm like, why would you put rings in there? I don't know.
I never liked that at all. I always thought it just looked tacky.
And I just fidget too much. That was the other reason why the tongue piercing wouldn't work for me. Like, I stim too much as is, and, like, somebody told me, like, you'll crack your teeth. And I'm like, that's just what I don't need to do. Apply more forceful, brittle things to my teeth. And I'm doing, yeah. Anyway, did I cut you off? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
No, tongue piercings are known for that. People chipping their teeth or causing damage to their teeth because they're constantly fidgeting with them. And you can't not, because it's there. And
yeah.
It's a stimulated portion of your body, so.
Yeah, I just stick stuff in my mouth. Now it's mostly vaping. But they make lovely, you know, stims for autistic kids now that you can buy that don't look too terrible, just so you guys know. They're not a sponsor, but maybe I'll do an unsolicited advertisement. Because my therapist is like, chew on that! I'm like, I do, but still. Not as fun. But yeah, one of the anecdotes I talked about was, and I don't know if they even do this anymore, because this is like, again, 30 years ago in the 90s. I had a coworker who decided to get his eyebrows done when I worked at Pizza Hut, and they made him, like, put little band-aids over his eyebrows while I worked on the line, which he was like, this is stupid, because he's bald and he sweats all day. So, yeah, they were kind of falling off half the damn time. That's just what you want in your pizza, right? Somebody's sweaty band-aid, because they were, like, forced to slap it over their eyebrow rings. It's like, you either do that or you take them out. And he's like, seriously?
Well, depending on your activity and, I don't know, social proclivities, those that are into fighting are a bad idea to get piercings on their face, because they get ripped out in fights. My nephew had his eyebrow pierced, and it got torn out in the fight, and after it healed up, he wanted it pierced again. And he did. I'm the one that did it. His stepdad was doing tattoos out of the house at the time, and I was doing piercings and tattoos at the time. And he had a tattoo party, and a bunch of people wanted piercings, so he called me to come over and do those. And my nephew was one of them.
Okay. Well, I had one other thing, and now it fell away. Oh, well.
I'm sorry.
I just don't want to show anybody about our house, because I'm weird like that, so. Talk to you later, guys. If you like septum piercings, I guess, let me know why. Maybe there's, well, hot chicks are hot no matter what. That's all I'm gonna say.